What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to our spoiler-free review of Nosferatu. So we just got back. We got the chance to see it in a, I guess, like slightly early screening. We had a long car ride, so we had a little bit of time to digest the film. So we're going to give you our spoiler-free thoughts on Nosferatu. So, of course, this is the latest film from Robert Eggers, who has done, The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, and now we've got Nosferatu. Cast is incredible, from Lily Rose Depp to Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Willem Dafoe, Emma Corrin, Ralph Ineson. Like, the cast is crazy. Writers, we got Henrik Galeen, and of course they're crediting Bram Stoker as well. Of course, Nosferatu, Dracula, whatnot. So I don't really know where you want to start with this baby, but you want me to just open it up and you just want to like give your summarized thoughts? Is there something in particular you want to dive into? And again, this is spoiler free, but how you want to tackle talking about Nosferatu?
However you want to tackle it. Okay,
all right. Well, I guess let's start at like a summarized standpoint. Where, for me, this is a good movie, but I don't think it's a great movie. What you think?
I somewhat agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is a movie you kind of have to like maybe watch it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, yes, it is really great. Obviously, I am a very big fan of The Witch that Robert Eggers did. That's one of my favorite horror movies. Mm-hmm. I think he does very good with like visuals, sound. Like he's really good with like immersing you into whatever he's trying to project or display.
Yeah, and I didn't mention earlier, but he's one of the writers as well.
Yes,
Robert Eggers.
He was one of the writers. But yeah, so I think he tackles that aspect very well. Now in this particular case, Nosferatu is like a passion project for him. Mm-hmm. And obviously this is something that's already been made and he's just redoing it. And
right, yeah, it's been done a few times
right
throughout the history of film.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like this is something, he came up with. And I don't know, I feel like maybe that's why I don't love it as much as I wanted to. I think I told you this in the car, like I was expecting him to take more freedoms or liberties with the story so we could see more of Robert Eggers as far as like a writer or whatever in that case, but it was kind of just like the same story. He just did it over.
Yeah. I agree with you on some elements in terms of like from just like, how the film looks, how the film feels and stuff like that. But I agree with you. I think my bigger issue with the film has to do, and maybe it's because of him adapting a story that's, been done a few times and there's not a lot of variation with this one, like you said. But for me, I think what keeps it from being great might be a result of the story, but it's just the pacing of the movie. This is a very like slow film. There's certain parts where it's like it feels very slow. I even found myself at times being like when you're like watching a movie and you could like it's building towards something, and then you're like, okay, like there's gonna be a point where like we in it, like we're here, like we're in it now. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I was always waiting for that moment with this movie, and I feel like it just kind of never came. Where I was like, oh, we in the shit now. Like I feel like that moment never hit with this one. I feel like I was always like, wait, like when we going to like just really get into this? And I think like for me, it was just the pacing of the story that just didn't give it like that. It was just missing like a certain element to keep that kept it from being great. Because like I said, it's still a good movie, especially on the technical front. Incredible. It's a beautiful movie. You know what I'm saying? But I think like story wise and like pacing wise, it was just missing like a certain factor that made you just like be like, damn, like this is so like enthralling. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about performances, because that is actually a big highlight from this film. Is the performances. Like, how do you feel about the
I
performances?
loved all the performances. I think they all did an exceptional job. Obviously, the standout for me was Lily Rose Depp.
Oh
like,
yeah,
she put her literal body into everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
she has some really dynamic moments in the film. She is my favorite performance out of all of it.
yeah.
Bill Skarsgård. I don't know. I didn't like his presentation of the character. So like in the movie, he uses English sometimes, and sometimes he uses the, like, I'm gonna say Romanian, probably this different dialect of Romanian. I forgot I looked it up, but I forgot what he said it was. But anyways, I prefer the Romanian over the English. And a lot of things with his character took me out of the movie.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll share your thoughts on it. But for me, it was him talking. Like, his English made me think of another character on TV.
Yeah, you said it was making you think of What We Do in the Shadows.
What's his name?
Laszlo.
Laszlo. Yeah. He reminded me so much of Laszlo, and I kept thinking about Laszlo.
Yeah, I was like, I'm surprised. I'm not sure why.
I couldn't get it out of my head.
Yeah, I don't know why you kept.
I don't know. It threw me off. But when he was speaking in the Romanian, I liked that.
Right.
I preferred that.
Yeah.
But the sound of his voice, I love the sound of it.
Yeah, that was dope.
And I like the way his character looked. And it's Bill Skarsgård, but I think he did a good job of like embodying this eerie presence of a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there were moments when he was like walking across the floor and all. I'm just like, dang, I don't want that nigga come nowhere near me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of like had that heavy presence. I thought he did a good job with that. What's his name? Her husband, Thomas. I thought he did a good job.
Holt. Yep.
As well. Ralph Ineson, I feel like he didn't utilize him as much as I wanted him. Like, his character wasn't I know he's not like a main character.
Right, he's definitely supporting.
He's very supporting in this, and I love Ralph Ineson so much. Especially like singing how he is in The Witch, where he's this very forceful presence, and in this one he's more of like a background. But I get it.
Right.
It's truth of the story.
Yep.
I don't know. I just like him a lot, so I kind of really
you wanted him to be more present.
But I get it though. But and then Willem Dafoe, I loved his character. He's like this quirky, eccentric professor, but people think he's cuckoo, but he's not really, what I'm saying? Like, what he's talking about, but he still does have a little bit of kookiness. Yeah.
He still got that a little bit of kookiness.
I think he played it so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everyone did great in their performances. Overall.
I agree. I think all the performances were great. Obviously, the big talking point with this film was going to be Bill Skarsgård, because they kept him hidden from the promotional material. Like, even with the poster here, he's clouded in darkness. I could say for me, I love his voice. I don't really have that same issue with you with his English. Like, I wasn't.
No.
Those parts, his voice, his talking, the cadence, the delivery, his presence. I think those parts are good for me. And I won't spoil his look because they haven't shown anything, so I won't talk about what it was about his look I didn't like. But there's a certain element to his look that just did not work for me. And that's what was taking me out of it. Every time he come on screen, I'd be like, dang, that shit is just taking me like way out of it. Like, I can't even concentrate. But, they went for the more like grotesque and kind of old, nasty like vibe. And it definitely works.
I think it works.
It's cool that they try to go for in a different direction. And I liked some of those elements, but there was a specific element to his look that just did not work for me. And I was like, why did they go this route? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, the performances were all incredible. We mentioned the visuals earlier. Like, visually, the movie, obviously all of Robert Eggers' movies are striking visually. And this is no different. Like,
I
this
just
movie
loved
is
it.
beautiful.
It reminded me of like A Christmas Carol. Like, the snow, the costumes, the time period. Like, if it's a Christmas to me. It felt like a Christmas movie at moments.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. I just really like the way it looked too. Go ahead.
Yeah, like the movie looked crazy good. From the camera work to the color grading, like
Mm-hmm.
it's got this almost black and white ish feel to it to a certain
like
extent.
very lack of color.
Like it sucked out a lot of the saturation.
Mhm.
I think they did a special like filter technique with the lenses and stuff.
It was cool.
Audio was good in terms of like the score, the soundtrack for the film.
Yeah.
Now speaking on the front of audio though, let's talk about, because this is kind of like it to me. This movie feels like period drama with some horror sprinkled on top.
Oh, really? I feel like it
You know what I'm
depends
saying?
on the person, because there were some people who reacted to it in the theater. Like, I mean, I didn't, but other people did. Like,
But those moments where you're describing are very few and far between. Like there's very few like like jumps. I don't even mean just jump scare. Just like sheer terror.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, this is scary.
Well,
that ain't there really in this movie.
Yeah, but it was like a quiet, like scary. Like there were moments where it was just like, ooh, what's about to happen? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. It's not a whole lot of.
It's not a very much.
It's more of like storytelling. Us kind of like going on this journey of figuring out.
Yeah.
Who's Nosferatu? Where he coming from? What he gonna do when he get here?
Yeah. And so, but to that point though, for people who maybe haven't seen the film yet.
Yeah.
Like, fair warning, like this is very much like period piece horror drama.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like
in the vein of like The Witch. So if you don't like that style,
I love The Witch, and I don't think these compare.
But I'm saying that's why people don't like. A lot of people don't like The Witch because of that element.
Okay,
to
well,
it.
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And this film has
It's
similar
heavy.
elements. It's a different period of time, but it is really encapsulating that, and it almost feels like a play. In some sorts, you know what I'm saying, like the theater, and even how they deliver some of the dialogue and how it presents on screen.
Well, that's what I was kind of saying earlier about the adaptation or him adding stuff to it or making it more unique or different from what's been done before. Because to me, that's why it is kind of slow to me. It's like, because he's telling the very same story. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that, it's cool, but I don't know. It's just I would have liked it to be more than just the same story.
Yeah, like change it up a little bit.
Right. I see why. That's why it felt slow to me and boring to me, because it's like, okay, well, this is nothing different about this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I see what you're saying. I think for me, it was more like to me, those lulls where the pacing became really slow and almost close to being boring was more to do with, in my opinion, just how I felt viewing it. This sense of like looming dread, I just wasn't really like feeling that. Like, I'm watching the characters experience like the dreadfulness, but for some reason I wasn't like feeling it. Like, where I'm like, oh damn, like this is a terror. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I look at like interviews with Bill Skarsgård talking about like, oh, this character is so evil that I'm playing, and I wasn't like feeling that come off the screen. And to that point, I do wish we got more Orlok and more seeing him being an evil, a terror. Like, I think about that shot. This is in the trailer where the hand is like stretching over the city, and this the vibe you get from seeing that. Like, I wanted that feeling more throughout the film, and I just feel like I wasn't really getting it. So as a result, like, there would be these moments where I'd be like, dang, like, I feel like I'm just watching a period drama right now. You know what I'm saying? Because those moments of like terror were in very isolated places. Even in the moments where people were being affected by things, I just like, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it. Like, I thought, especially when you look at this poster, you're like, even Succumb to the Darkness, you know what I'm saying? Like, this vibe of like terror, I just wasn't really like feeling that, you know what I'm saying? Even the descent into the chaos and the madness wasn't as encapsulating as when you watch The Witch and you're seeing her character and the family descend into this madness. It just wasn't as engaging. This film wasn't as engaging as it was handled in The Witch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think there's still a lot to like about it. Like, I really like the end a lot.
Yeah,
The way it ended was really cool.
very beautiful type of
Yeah.
ending. Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Because we're still trying to keep it spoiler free. So I
Yeah.
guess it's hard to
I mean,
go into it without
if you've seen
spoilers.
Nosferatu, you've seen this movie. That's
Well, true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
But maybe I think there's plenty of people who might not have seen Nosferatu.
Yeah, no, there's a couple things in there that obviously there was like this one scene that was super crazy. I was like, whoa, you know. But other than that, everything else is pretty much crazy. But I do think he steps it up in terms of like the nastiness and the goriness compared to other films.
Yeah, it's got its moments.
Yeah. There's some pretty cool use of that in there.
Now, when we say that, don't go in there expecting like Terrifier levels of gore. It is nowhere near on that level. It's just certain moments are kind of gross. Yeah, it's very, that's a good way to put it. It's tasteful gore.
It's tasteful gore.
Yeah, because there's moments you're kind of like, oh, that's kind of nasty, but it's nothing that's like crazy.
Well, yeah.
Ain't nothing crazy going on in terms of like the gore level. It's not intense gore.
I don't know. I think me and AJ and I, whatever, we've been talking about this film all year. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is last year when we did our most anticipated films, this was number one. Yeah. And I just think our expectations were like really sky high.
Yeah.
And I just think that was a setup for ourselves to be disappointed. And then I like I said, for me, I just assumed it would be different and more scary and more, I don't know. Just a little bit more something. Yeah.
I can honestly say, just keeping it 100% real, that I do feel slightly disappointed, like walking out of this film. Because I was expecting to walk out, like you said, very high on the film. Like, oh, like that was amazing, you know? And I can honestly say, like, I just wasn't really feeling that. And there's a little bit of a disappointment. And you can have high expectations. We've had high expectations for other films this year that have met it and then surpassed it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I don't think that's necessarily, has to do with anything. I think it's just the film is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyways, I liked it. It's just I didn't love it like I wanted to love it.
Yes. Even though we've said all these things, like I still like the movie, but I love the way you said it. I don't love it. Like I'm personally not itching to see it again. Like I'm not like
I do want to watch it again.
Okay.
First of all,
I'm waiting.
I was sitting next to somebody that bothered the hell out of me. And so I want to watch it again where I can like actually like enjoy sitting there watching the movie.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to try to see it in the 35 millimeter. You don't want to now because you didn't like it.
That's like a 2 hour. Because like watching it in 35 millimeter, I think it's like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour drive.
I feel you on that.
And now after seeing it, I'm like,
I don't want to do all that.
I don't know if it's worth that drive now. You know what I'm saying? Like we should have seen it in that format first, so that it would have been one and done. Because now I'm just kind of like, do I really want to sit through it again? Like I
want to watch it again.
I don't know if I want to pay that amount of like theater money to watch it again. I almost feel like I want to wait till it's on like VOD and then pay a little bit of a smaller amount or something.
Because I also want to, auditory. I like to hear it in the movie theater versus at home. I do. I just want to watch it one more time.
But this isn't that kind of movie where like it's this isn't like an auditory experience.
I mean, there was some good moments in there with the sounds.
Yeah, but not enough to where I'm like, look, y'all, for the audio, y'all gotta watch in the theater.
No, I don't think it's that,
in my opinion, this is not that kind of movie where like the sound system is gonna make a large difference.
I do.
I don't think so.
Well, anyways, what's your rating?
But look, if you like Robert Eggers, I think you'll like the film. Hold on, babe. I just want to summarize before I get to my rating.
You can give me your rating.
That's what I'm gonna give you my rating.
Okay.
Right after I say this last piece of a summarization. You know what I'm saying? If you like Robert Eggers, I think you will like this film. You might not, even if you don't love it, I think you'll like it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you will. If you like Robert Eggers, I think there will be things about this you will like. You'll be like, this is him. There's certain elements I like the film, but you might not love it. And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't love it, but I like it. Visually striking, performances are great. Orlok is a presence, super dope. And the moments where he is Orlocking it up, where like some kills are happening. Oh, that shit is dope. I wanted more of that though. I wanted way more of that. And that's kind of what I was hoping we'd get. So as a result, I think I am going to go, I'll probably go like 3.5 to a 4. I'm somewhere in that range. I can't settle exactly, but I'm in that neighborhood.
Okay.
Yep. What's your verdict?
I'm at a solid 3.5.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I really want this to be a 5-star.
It's weird, right? Because we really wanted it to be like, this 5-star movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how I think back to throughout this year, some of the other films we've seen, we walked out like, oh, that was so good. We're like in the car. Because you know how it is, right? When we all go to the movies, right?
Yeah.
That car ride home, like you're just like hyped up off the movie if it was really good. You're just like, oh, that was so amazing. Like, remember this part? And I feel like on our way home, we were like, damn. Like we won't like, remember this part? Remember this? Da-da. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Because we wanted this to be so good.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's good. Okay. It's just not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I agree. And some of that might just be how we personally feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I say from a technical aspect, it is a good film. But just from like personal, it's just not what I think it could have been. But look, y'all, that's what we think. I know we've been running for a little bit. That's what we think about Nosferatu. Let us know down in the comments. How did you feel about Nosferatu if you've seen it already? Like, did it work for you? Was it what you were expecting? You know, kind of where are you sitting at? Especially because this is such a hyped up film throughout the whole year. How did you feel about it overall? Drop all your thoughts down in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. We still got our top 10 coming now that we've seen this film, because we were waiting to watch this film so we can give. So we can give
gonna
like
make our top 10.
I gotta look back at it.
Ratings.
Oh, if we go off sheer ratings, yeah, it might.
Not gonna make it.
Yeah, I don't think it might not. Now, that's why we got to kind of compare. That's why I think we got to compare.
Okay.
You got to compare because you can't always go strictly off the rating.
No, you can't.
Yeah. But yeah, we still got to do our top 10. And it's funny because we was waiting on this film so we could see it and then give like, you know, a true top 10 after seeing such a major release. I'm very curious to see where this is going to fall. We got a lot of thinking to do about that. But make sure y'all are subscribed and following us and staying tuned, because that top 10 list is going to be super fire. And if y'all are looking forward to 2025, we do already have our most anticipated horror films of 2025 already out, both on YouTube and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Check out that conversation. It's super dope. We did 15 films. And there's a whole lot more films coming out, but we picked like our top 15. It's a dope list. Make sure you go check that out, because maybe there's a film in there you didn't even know about or forgot about or whatever. And then, you know, we'll have a conversation about maybe your most anticipated films for next year. But thank y'all so much as always, y'all. This has been like, I think a dope year for horror. And this is pretty much our final watch of the year. So we'll see how that top 10 turns out. We will see y'all on that video. Y'all, we out. See you next time. Peace.